And once again, my name is Greg Young, coming to you live from Davenport, Florida, with my morning life wake up motivation this morning. And this morning, I want to talk about a topic. You cannot force someone to hear a message that they're not ready to receive. And that's the true fact. No one thing about it that we have to realize is when we try to tell people certain things and teach people certain things, if they're not ready to listen, and they're not ready to hear with an open ear, then we're just wasting our time. Because you have a lot of people that are set in their ways, and no matter what you tell them, they're just not going to believe it. They're just not going to hear it because that's just the way they are, and that's just their character of who they are and how they've been taught growing up, and all those different things that people have taught them in their life growing up, from their parents to their grandparents to their mother, to their father, their sisters, their brothers, and they have been, taught all these different things in their life to believe that certain things that they cannot do. And then they have limitations. They limit themselves on what they can do. And then when you try to go to them and tell them something and that is good for them or could create change in their life, if they're not ready to receive that message and they don't have the right type of mindset going on within them at that particular time, then they're not going to hear what you're saying. They're not going to get what you're saying. They're not going to understand what you're saying. And what we have to realize in life, we cannot force someone to hear a message that they're not ready to receive. A lot of people, in order for you to create change in your life, you got to be ready to create change. You got to be ready to hear messages and check out things and do things that's going to create change in your life. But if you're stuck in your ways and you believe that, all because your parents said it, your grandparents said it, that you was going to work a 9 to 5 until you die, and you adapt that type of mindset in your mind and you get stuck in your ways, there's nothing nobody can say that can get you out of being stuck in that way. So this is what I'm saying to you this morning. Don't be that person that is not ready to hear a message, or that is not ready to listen to someone when someone is trying to tell you something, someone is trying to show you something, someone is trying to teach you something, because of the simple fact you never know how that could create change in your lifestyle. But you didn't want to hear the message because you already believe that your life was okay, that you already had everything going on according to what you was taught growing up. And a lot of people are like that. A lot of people will stay on a 9 to 5 and work 40 hours to get a 40-hour paycheck to retire with 40% of their pay, but they never ever will focus on doing anything else or trying to get them out of that rat race, because their belief system is set and they're settled at where they are. And that's their beliefs, and they don't believe beyond nothing more than that. They don't believe that they can go out here and create a second strand of income and make money and be able to soon stop trading time for dollars and stop being time broke and stop living from paycheck to paycheck. Their mindset just doesn't see that, because that's how their mindset has been brainwashed through society to believe that they cannot do no more than what they're doing. So when you go to them and you try to tell them a message or try to show them how they can create change, or try to show them a concept of where they can create a second strand of income on top of what they're doing, a lot of people don't even want to look at it. They won't even take a look at it because they will always prejudge it before they look at it. And this is what I'm saying to you this morning in life. Never prejudge a situation if you don't know what the situation is always about. Never prejudge something if you don't know what it's all about, because you cannot pass judgment on something that you know nothing about. All you can do is just have an imagination or assume that this is the way something is, but it doesn't mean that it's that way. So this is what I'm saying to you. When someone comes to you, with a message or with something that can help you in life, don't be so closed-minded and so brainwashed by society to where you cannot understand or hear where they're coming from. And on the other hand, nobody can force nobody to listen to a message that they're not ready to receive. So all they can do is give it to them and leave it on the table, and it's up to them to pick it up and run with it, or it's up to them to leave it on the table and don't never give it a second thought. But I'm just saying, when you're out there trying to convince somebody to do something and they're not ready for it, you're just wasting your time. That's just the bottom line. But what I'm saying to you, as within my morning life wake up motivations, is that we cannot force someone to hear a message that they're not ready to receive. All we have to do is just sit back and let nature take its course, and then hope that sooner or later that person will understand that the message that I was trying to tell them, or whatever I was trying to do to help them in whatever kind of way it was, that it was for their own benefit. And it was for their own growing of their own life, to help them get to another level in life. But a lot of people, they won't hear your messages that you're trying to tell them, especially when you go to them and you say, you know, I'm in this concept and it's been doing good for me, and I would like for you to take a look at it. The first thing a person will say that is not ready to receive a message like that, they'll say, oh no, I don't want to look at it. I've heard about them pyramid scams. Nobody's ever made any money out of them pyramid scams. I'm all right. But the thing is, that's what their mind tells them. That's what their mind tells them, because their mind is set on a default autopilot, and it's telling them all these different things that they're going through in life, and they're believing that they cannot do no better. So now they prejudge situations before they even take a look at it, or before they even listen to what you have to do. And then when you come across people like that, all you can do is just lay the message on the table and leave it there. If they listen to it, they listen to it. If they don't, or if you're trying to show somebody something and somebody tells you, well, no, I don't want to look at it, it's a pyramid scheme or whatever, then you just have to accept it, that they're happy with their lifestyle to where they are, and don't try to force them to listen to a message that they're not ready for. Because the thing is, it's something that's going on in their life that has allowed them to believe that they cannot be successful. Their default mindset is on autopilot, and it's thinking back on all the things that it has endured that wasn't right, that they couldn't accomplish. They wasn't that smart in school, so therefore they'll never be able to do something beyond working a 9 to 5. They never did get a high school diploma, so they'll never be able to work a job beyond, getting a 9 to 5, and they won't get too good of a job because they feel like they don't have the education to where they deserve it. But those are the people that you cannot force to receive a message that they're not ready for, because they're not ready. Their mind, in order for you to be able to receive a message where you can get off of your default mind that is on autopilot and shift to your direct mode of your mindset, which is the direction of where you're heading, and it tells you where you're going, is that you have to find a way to get past what you was taught growing up. That's the reason why a lot of people, when you try to tell them something or show them something, that's why they never really pay a lot of attention to you, because the thing is that they have been taught and programmed on their default mode of their mindset to believe that they can't do no more. Somebody has told them in life, you know what, you'll never amount to nothing. You were never nothing growing up. You will never be nothing. And that's what those are the people that are not ready to receive messages that is going to get them to the next level, because they're not going to listen, because they've already made it up in their mind, within their default mode of their mindset that's on autopilot, that they cannot do it. And it's hard. Like I say, you cannot force someone to hear a message that they're not ready for. And those are the people that is living in their default mode of their mindset to where it's on autopilot and they're believing in all the things that they cannot do. But not once are they believing in one thing that they can do by switching their default mode of their mindset to direct mode, to be able to take a direct picture and look at where they're going and understand that they can create change in their life. But like I said, we cannot force someone to hear a message that they're not ready to receive. And all we have to do is just sit back and wait and let nature take its course and see how that person's lifestyle pans out, because we have tried and they didn't want to hear it. So you've done all you can do. You cannot force somebody to hear something that they're not ready to receive. So that's what we have to realize in life, that sometimes we have to change our mindset of our mode from a default mode to a direct mode, so we're direct and open to hear the messages that people are saying to us that can be beneficial to our life, and not be one of those people that, like I said, we cannot force someone to hear a message that is not ready to hear it. We have to be ready to hear a message, and we have to be ready to create change in our life each and every day, no matter what the situation is, no matter what the consequences are, no matter what we have to endure or go through. We just always have to know that we can go further in life than where we are, if we just be willing to listen and pay attention to what people are trying to tell us, or watch our surroundings around us. But like I said, we cannot force someone to hear a message that is not ready to receive it. So all we got to do is just hope and pray for the best for that person. If they're not living the lifestyle that they deserve to live right now, we just have to hope and pray for the best, that they will understand what it takes to live the lifestyle that they need to live in order to get to where they need to get to. But the thing is, we cannot force them to go there if they're not ready to go there. And that's what we have to realize. So sometimes we just have to just step back. When we try to tell somebody something, how they can create change in their life, and they don't take heed to it and they don't listen to it, sometimes we just have to just step back, put ourselves out of the equation, and let them just keep on thinking and living in their default mode mindset, which is on autopilot, and instead of telling them what they can and cannot achieve in life. And then we just look back, we just sit back and let nature take its course. But this is what I'm saying to you in my morning life wake up motivation, is that don't be one of those persons that we cannot force to hear a message when they're not ready to receive it. You should always be open and ready to receive messages in your life each and every day, because you don't know how much someone giving you some advice, or telling you about a message, or telling you about a concept, or whatever it is in life, or telling you how you can go on a certain ritual and lose weight or whatever. You should be ready to receive it, because that's what's going to create the growth in your life, and that's what's going to change your default mode mindset to your direct mode mindset, because now you're going to be thinking that you can have more, you can do more. You're not going to be putting limitations on what you got going on in life. You're not going to be brainwashed by society in life and the things that people have taught you to believe. You have a different belief system, and it is a direct belief system to believe that whatever is directly in front of you, you can directly achieve, and you can directly figure out which direction you want to go to get to wherever you want to be. But if you're still stuck in the default mode, to where, I said, we cannot force a person to hear a message that they're not ready to hear. That's the default mode of your mind that's not ready to hear that message. And you need to get out of that default mode of your mind and get to a more direct mode of your mind. Because the thing is, we should always be accessible to teaching and wanting to learn something and educating ourselves, so we can live better lives and live better lifestyles in life. But like I said, we cannot force someone to hear a message that they don't want to hear. We can't beat it into them, because if you force someone to hear a message that they don't want to hear, they're not going to pay no attention to it. My thing is, if I got to force you to do something, I don't want you to do it because I know you're not going to give you 100% in it. If I got to force you to hear a message, I don't want you to hear it because I know you're not going to get what the message is. And that's the way it is in life. We have to realize that we cannot force someone to hear a message that they don't want to hear when their mind set mode is on the default mode and all their default mode is on autopilot, and everything that has gone wrong in their life and that they didn't accomplish, they're still replaying that like a tape recorder, and it's on autopilot over and over, and it's telling them all the things they cannot do, they cannot achieve. So therefore, we cannot force them to hear a message that they're not ready to receive. And you know why they're not ready to receive? Because they have not renewed their mindset to believe that they can do more than what they're doing right now. They're still thinking with their conscious mind when they should be thinking with their subconscious mind, and be more open and accessible to hearing messages from people that can help them, especially when it's successful people coming to you. When a successful person comes to you with an idea or something, and you say, no, I don't want to do this, it's a pyramid scheme or whatever, it's your default mindset of what you have been taught and told. How do you know something is a pyramid scheme if you've never tried it? You heard somebody say that and you believed it. And that's why our default mode in our mindset is always on autopilot, believing all the negative things that we can and cannot achieve. And that's the reason why we cannot force someone to hear a message that they're not ready to receive, because a lot of times in life, if you're not ready to receive something, you're not going to conceive it, and you're not going to be able to achieve it. And so therefore, it's a waste of our time trying to force you to hear where we're coming from. We just need to just sit back and just wait and let nature take its course and see what happens, and see if that person eventually gets that they need more than one strand of income, because just in case their previous income quits them, or they need to try to find a way to create a second stream of income to improve their finances to where they'll be able to spend more time with their family. They'll be able to increase their bank account. They'll be able to increase their lifestyle way of living. But if they're not ready for it, you cannot force someone to hear a message that they're not ready for. So you just have to sit back and just wait and be patiently and just hope that they get to the point to where they're ready to hear a message that could be life-changing in their lifestyle. But just remember, we cannot force someone to hear a message that they're not ready for. And like I said, they have to reprogram their mind from their conscious mind, and they have to reprogram their mind from their default mode of their mindset, that mindset that's on autopilot each and every day, that we wake up and we do the things that we have to do as individuals, and whatever the case may be in life. But we have to realize that at some point in time, we got to make a decision. If we're not where we want to be in life, we got to change that default mode of that mindset that is on autopilot, that is telling us all these things that we cannot accomplish. That's why we cannot force someone to hear a message that they're not ready to receive, because of the simple fact that they're not ready to accomplish whatever they set out to go to do, their goals, their dreams, their visions. They have none, because they don't listen to the message. They're not listening to what's going on around the world. They're not watching how the world is changing. They're not understanding where they need to be and putting themselves in position for. And we cannot force someone to hear a message that they don't want to hear, no matter what, no matter how much and how bad you know that this person needs to hear this message, but you cannot force them to hear it if they're not ready to hear it. That's just the fact, and that's just the way life goes. That's just how it is. It is what it is. It sucks that that's the way life is, but that's just the way it is. We just have to realize that you have those people that are set in their ways, and no matter how much you try to tell them something, show them something, teach them something, they're still going to continue doing what they're doing, because they have been programmed on their default mode, and that's all they believe. They don't see another mode of the mindset. They don't see the direct mindset. They don't see a way to renew their mindset and believe positive and think positive and be able to do positive things. They just see themselves as where they are right now, and they're going to stay there, and they believe they're going to stay there, and they're never going to do no better because of the simple fact of their upbringing. But sometimes we have to realize that our upbringing does not define who we are as a person, or the destination as to where we can head to achieve our goals, dreams, and purposes and visions. We have to know that. But the thing is, we don't realize that because, like I said, we're so stuck in what we've been taught for 50 years, 100 years. We have been taught to be brainwashed in society, not to be able to do certain things by our default mindset telling us that we cannot accomplish certain things. Like, say, for instance, your default mindset tells you each and every day that you wake up that, hey, you better go to this 9 to 5 because this is all you can do. If you allow your default mindset to take control over you and keep your thoughts and your thinking pattern process on autopilot, then we cannot force someone to hear a message that they're not ready to receive. And that's what we must realize in life. We just have to sit back and just wait and let nature take its course and just see and hope and pray that at some point in time that person will understand that the message that we're trying to give to them is not a message that's going to bring them down. It is a message that we're trying to give to them that's going to help them. But we cannot help a closed mindset. Bottom line, if your mindset is closed, then we cannot help it. We cannot open it. You have to open your mindset yourself, and you have to realize the things that's going on in your life that's not going on right, and how you can create that change. But we cannot force someone to hear a message that they're not ready to receive. So that's what we have to understand. You have to know that when you tell someone something and you're trying to tell them to get them to hear a message, and you know that person is not paying no attention, or you know that person is always giving you excuses as to why they cannot do that. They're not good enough, they're not smart enough, they didn't grow up on the right side of the track, they didn't come from a rich family. All those things is just excuses that your default mind mode is telling you. In your mindset, your mind is set on default on autopilot, and that default mode of your mindset is telling you that you cannot achieve these things. That's why we cannot force a person to hear a message that they're not ready to receive. And that's what we need to realize in life, that sometimes in life you can't save everyone. You may want to save everyone, or you may want to show somebody that they can do better in life. But if that person is not ready to create change in their life, we cannot force them to hear a message that they're not ready to receive. So this morning, I just want y'all to get that, because understanding is the best thing in the world. And just remember, we cannot force a message. We cannot force someone to hear a message that they're not ready to receive. We just can't. Because they're not gonna hear wholeheartedly. They're not gonna get the real jest out of it. But this morning, I have a call to action. It is my new product, Skin Tech, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna show you a video of how the product works.
This is SkinTech, a broad spectrum protective in foam form. It is literally an invisible glove on our skin, and it helps eliminate viruses, bacteria, and even spores on contact. What's really fascinating about it is that it can also protect your skin from corrosive substances such as acid-based insolvent. In fact, do you know what? We're going to show you exactly in this video how it protects your hand against chloride acid, an acid that would normally burn. We waited 5 minutes for it to completely dry, and now we're applying acid chloride. We use the screws to show that there's an actual chemical reaction that takes place, and as you can see, it doesn't really affect the hand, and we get a 4-hour protection against acid chemicals, bacteria, viruses, no matter what. This is just amazing, right? This is by far the best sanitizing product in the world. SkinTech. Soft to the touch and tough as nails.
So now there you have it. SkinTech is, like I said, and you can get a 50 millimeter bottle of the SkinTech for $25, but with regular use, it'll last up to 1 month with regular use. And then you can also get a 150 millimeter bottle of the SkinTech, and with regular use, it will last up to 3 months for $50. So, like I said, you've seen the acid chemical test, with the screws. This product protects your hands from up to 4 hours, even after hand wash. So, I'm just saying, if you're in the mood to protect yourself and protect your loved ones, click the link below at thismakesense.com and get your SkinTech today. You can pre-order it on my website right now and start protecting your family in the way that they deserve to be protected. And like I said, once again, for all you entrepreneur-minded people that is trying to make a little extra money, this is a ground level product, not sold in stores. So, and you've seen how it works. Protects your hands from acid-based chemicals. Protects your hands up to 4 hours, even after hand wash. So you know that this is an awesome product, and you know that this product can sell. And this is $1 million product on a ground level concept. So you just have to be able to realize, what you want out of life and go for it. And if you're one of those people that's entrepreneur-minded people, now's the time for you to become a distributor of this product, because it is at a win-win process. It is just selling like crazy right now, and it's gonna sell much, much more crazier because it's a product that's not sold in stores, and it's a product that everybody needs, because right now, what is people most thing that they're trying to do right now? Protect themselves from harmful chemicals, viruses, bacteria, and this SkinTech does it. So, like I said, get yours today at thismakesense.com. If you want to be a customer, pre-order it today. If you're interested in distributing the product, leave me a note on one of my platforms and say, hey, I'm interested, and I can get that information over and get you started so you can start making some extra money on top of what you're doing right now. But like I said, I just want to thank each and every one of you all for stopping by my Morning Life Wake Up Motivation this morning. And I'm truly thankful for all your likes, comments, and shares, your views. And I just love you all for your support. But just do me a favor, like, comment, and share on this video, because I know that there's someone out there right now that needs to hear this message that I'm bringing about, to where we cannot force someone to hear a message that they're not ready to receive. So like, comment, and share on this video. And once again, happy Saturday. If you're going to work and you're driving on the highway, drive safe. Once you get to work, work safe. But whatever you do today, do it in a safe manner. Don't do it in a manner to where you're not protecting yourself and protecting others around you. Always be that person that is smarter than the next person, and then you will go far in life. But once again, thank you for stopping by my Morning Life Wake Up Motivation. But just remember, we cannot force someone to hear a message that they're not ready to receive. So I just want to thank each and every one of you all for stopping by my Morning Live Wake Up Motivation. And once again, my name is Greg Young, coming to you live from Davenport, Florida. And God loves you, and so do I. So have a blessed day, and goodbye.